Wait a second. Alright, here's the thing. William Schubert and I, we're writing a book. It's going to have 10 chapters. Each chapter is going to be on a different subject. Here's an example. Snake's eyes, right? They have different eyes. Some people think this snake is venomous. Some think that snake is venomous, right? And there's confusion among laymen. So we need someone who can write that chapter, but first using some sort of a personal anecdote, something that happened to you or someone you know or something you heard that you could substantiate, something that you can give attribution to. That means he said or according to. Right? Sorry, it's hot. Now, each chapter is going to have that. It's going to give you the opportunity to establish a name. This is going to go far and wide. I'm a reporter for the New York Times, not to be an arrogant fuck, but I am, right? Look it up. Jeff Leibowitz, the New York Times, look up the stories. It's 3,000 since 1984. I'm going to make this into a big thing. Now, if you're able to write a chapter on something that you have some expertise in, good. If you have a lot of expertise, good. If you know nothing about it, that's okay. Do the research. That's what a reporter does. Just do the research, right? And I'm not into the politics of the Times. I was working in there, I've been there since I was 17. I'm 57, 40 years, right? So things were different then. All I want is something that's dispassionate, impartial, accurate, well-balanced. Two things. It needs to be entertaining and informative. So entertain them by sharing an anecdote, something that happened with whatever the topic is. Let's just stick with the snake eyes. You know somebody who misidentified a snake because he thought that vertical meant this or horizontal meant that or big meant the other thing. And then they came across this snake and boom, something terrible happened. All right, fine. Then get into the facts, because we can't just do Wikipedia because we have Wikipedia. So let's make it something that is anecdotal, then facts, right? 10 different chapters. We have 10 different subjects. I'm going to post them. But if you have your own subjects, say so. Just don't make it overly broad, like just quotes. So we're talking about that, but there's too much there unless you have something specific. If it's a lapids, give us something specific. For example, let's just say you're talking about lubricus, right? You're talking about a spitalaps lubricus, and you have and golden coral cobras, right? Or Cape coral cobras, whatever. Whatever. You have a snake that you think would be a good first venomous snake. Good. Write your anecdote. Tell them how it was your first snake, but then explain all the other ideas that would be a good first snake and why your idea could be a bad idea in their eyes and why their idea might be a good idea in your eyes, and then put that idea in his eyes compared to her eyes. You have to compare it. It needs to be fair, not you trying to convince them of anything, just that what you're writing is true and accurate and balanced, and just that. Try to have at least 10 sources. We'll be back. It's William Schubert and me, right? And it will be fun. If you have been doing this for a long time, you've been risking your life. If you've been risking your life, you must love this very much. If you love this very much and you're actually taking the risk of death, I think you might want to do this, because for a million reasons. Let's say you have an argument with somebody. What do you guys like to do? And some guy says, I know more than you. And you say, well, I know more than you. You know, the typical thing. Yeah, you know. Yeah, you know. Yes, you know. I know you know. Well, you could, in your argument, you could say, well, look, I know more than you and I can prove it. Here, look, I wrote this for this very well-respected book. And look at page blah, blah, blah. And it's well-sourced. And you can say, we need that. We need things that don't lead to division every single time. We need someone to do a chapter on free handling and just how divisive it is. Someone who is in the middle. I have a guy in mind, but it could be anybody. All right, so things of that nature. Things, the more controversial, the better, right? Don't blame me, but there's a saying that we have. If it bleeds, it leads. So the more controversy, now nothing's going to bleed, but the more controversy, the better. That's what needs to be resolved, no? So it'll be good for the community, the venomous community. It'll be interesting to people. We need to also make this good for laymen, which is why we're having these anecdotes. It has to be interesting, but by interesting we mean informative and entertaining. Entertaining because of your anecdotes, and after your anecdote, then you get into the facts. Not Wikipedia facts, the facts you get from those things that you open at a paper, the things that your kids are going to look at like, what the fuck is this? And you'll be like, that's a book. It opens like this. Those things, books, right? You can use them to store weed, but you can also read them. So, this is frozen. It's so frustrating because it's hot as fucking here. But, please give yourself some credit. If you've been doing this for a long time, why not put your name in something? How long can it really take? I will rewrite anything. As long as the information is there. As long as it has the data. I can't do it if you don't give me the information. What do you want me to do? I'm not doing it for you. No. But if it makes money, everyone will get the percent of published work. So if you publish 3% of it, you get 3%. I don't plan on publishing a lot. I plan on doing one chapter and maybe part of the preface. So I'm not looking to make a fortune. I'm hoping that we all make pretty much the same thing, or exactly the same thing. And William, he also, just like me, he will help everyone with everything. We've talked about it. If you have your own idea, good, wonderful. Send it to us. Start researching it. This will end in a few days. We're not kidding, we're starting now. All right, this won't take long. This is not a hard thing to do. We're not really writing a whole book. You're not writing a whole book. You're writing one chapter. So is everyone else. Over a brief period of time. It doesn't take that long. Maybe you did it in college. Maybe you did it in high school. Just, do it now. It's so much easier. Just do it. If you're not a good writer, it doesn't matter. I will fix the writing. But I need you to get the data. Write the anecdote well. When you write the anecdote well, that means in a sentence, don't just say, I was bit by a snake, or your friend was bit by a snake. Julie, 36, of Bayside, New York, a state which prohibits the sale or possession of venomous snakes, maybe too many commas, was bitten by a snake on blah, blah, blah date and blah, blah, blah place. I need specificity, right? Give me something to work with, then I'll take out the comma. I'll make it sound good. I'll make it sound well, right? But I need as much information as you can get me. Even if it's just the information, I can make it flaw. I'll make it butter. But let's do it. Let's do it. Give yourself some credit. If you want to be an expert, here's your chance to prove it, right? Here's a chance to make it real. I hope that you give yourself credit. I hope that we can work together. I hope it can be a positive experience. And I believe in every single one of you. I do believe in you. It's the person that gets off his ass and does something. That's the person that gets my attention. So if you're down to do the work, it's going to take you a few days, not more. You're only looking for, 30 pages. And 30 book pages are more than 30 pages. Just do 30 pages. I'll make it fit perfectly, all right? I've published several books. I've helped many people publish books. I know how to do this. It's not going to be hard, but you have to do this fast, all right? So start now. By start, I mean, hit us up if you have an idea. We're going to publish the 10 possibilities that we've thought of, but we're open to more, right? It might be 20. It doesn't matter how long it is. It doesn't work that way anymore, right? In terms of price. So it's not going to cost you a cent. It's not a scam. Don't worry. It's a whole process. It's published, and then money comes in. And then the people that publish it get some money too. Just fucking do it, all right? I hope that we can enjoy massive success together and do it over and over and over. Why not? It doesn't even have to be limited to venomous snakes. It can go into just snakes. It can go into many other things. Let's start. All right. Good luck to us.